Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for visiting us this evening at Don't Tell Mama. At this time, please take a moment to silence all electronic and other noise-making devices that may interrupt this evening's performance in our intimate space. Also, as a courtesy to the performers, the use of flash photography is strictly prohibited during this evening's performance, and we do ask that you please refrain from text messaging during the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the producer and host of Cabaret Campaigns Ride the Blue Wave 2018, and the man who every night dreams of taking Donald Trump out of the White House in handcuffs, Mr. Stephen Sondheim.
Is everybody angry? Is everybody motivated to resist? Is everybody going to make sure people vote in November? Take it away, Matthew. Something less bitter, less often on Twitter, something that's based on fact. It sweeps you up, this great blue wave. More civilizing, less womanizing, someone who knows how to act. A simple reminder, we used to be kinder and not so easily afraid. With our water so troubled, our efforts are doubled. Come join a great crusade. Come and ride the great blue wave.
Great blue wave.
Less likely to see a war with Korea. Come join the great blue wave. Take it away, Matthew. Less racist, something less fascist, something for which we're proud. It sweeps you up, this great blue wave.
Great blue wave.
The waters will gush in and make us less Russian. Come sing the song out loud. His decisions are awful and mostly unlawful. No wonder why the whole world is dismayed. If you want to disable a guy that's unstable, come join a great crusade. Come ride the great blue wave.
Great blue wave.
Much less absurd, less like the Third Reich. Come join the great blue wave. Come ride the great blue wave. Thank you very much. So, my first thing right off the bat I want to say is, there are more people here than at a Trump rally.
You got the photos to prove.
Welcome. Feel free to just comment anytime you have. Because we know who you are. You're the fake news media. By the way, I have a bulletin that I wanted to relay to everybody. Because of all the texts and messages that I've been posting on my Facebook wall about the man I affectionately call a cretin, I just found out that my security clearance is going to be revoked. I'm right up there with a whole bunch of really good people. So welcome to Cabaret Campaign's Ride the Blue Wave 2018. This is a great crowd. Thank you for coming. Before I talk a little bit about why we're here and what this is all about, I just want to say thank you to two people. First, the man who wrote our little theme song, The Great Blue Wave, a really good friend of mine, a great musical theater composer. He recently had a show off Broadway called Goldstein. His name is Michael Roberts, so let's give it a hand. And the man who played that at the piano, who is our musical director for the evening, and I got to tell you something about this gentleman, folks. You know, when I put the word out among the community to get musical directors for these shows, I let them know right off the bat that they were going to be fundraisers for candidates, that I wanted every penny to go to the candidates, so they were going to have to do this pro bono. And so I got 5 musical directors that agreed to do it. This man was one of them, and not only that, but he, instead of taking a fee from the performers for the one-on-one rehearsals, he said, listen, put that back into the campaign kitty. Matthew Martin Ward. That is, as my grandmother used to say, a mensch, right? Okay, so I just want to do one thing that, of course, I hadn't planned on doing, but I think would be appropriate tonight before I talk about anything involving the show. And that would be, so we lost today, right on the stage with us tonight, we have great singers, great performers, and great Americans. And today we lost a great singer, a great performer, and a great American, Aretha Franklin. So I'd like to have a moment of silence for Aretha. Thank you. And if you would indulge me, I'd like to sing one phrase of my favorite Aretha Franklin song. Just a little phrase. And when I say the first part of it, you will know it, so you can all join in. I know the people on stage will. So here it goes. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Thank you very much. I am very confident in my masculinity that I can sing that line. Anyway, by the way, did you guys hear what happened today? Omarosa released another video. Yeah. Omarosa, she's the girl who will take down Donald Trump.
Voting will take down Donald
Trump. So here's why we're all here. Right around the end of December last year, after a year and a half of being massively depressed, which I still haven't. By the way, does anybody have a mass quantity of blood pressure medication with them? My wife does. That's great. She always keeps it handy whenever I'm watching MSNBC. So I was at my friend and client Jeff McCauley's show at Pangea. Jeff is here, actually. And I had a couple of cocktails during the show. And then after the show at the bar, I was with my friend Sandra Bargeman, who's also a great cabaret performer. And I had a couple more drinks at the bar. And I was now asking Sandra, sort of half teary, what am I going to do next year about this whole thing that's going on with Trump and this country? I've got to do something. And I was racking my brain to figure out what I could do. Maybe I could go work for Eric Holder and Barack Obama's voter gerrymandering organization. But they're in Washington, and I couldn't do that. So after the 4 cocktails, I said, I've got it. I'm going to do a series of cabaret shows with great New York cabaret performers, and we're going to raise money for candidates running in the midterm elections. So here we are. So we've got 5 shows. This is the 3rd show. We've had 27 performers overall are going to be doing this. And every one of them is going to represent a specific candidate running for governor or senator or Congress, and even a couple of state legislator positions. And all the money from the cover charges that you pay tonight is going to be divided and sent to the candidates.
Good.
Right. And by the way, you're probably thinking, well, that's not going to be all that much money. Well, let me tell you something. A lot of these campaigns are being financed on $10 donations online. So anything that we can send them is going to help. And some of the candidates know about this, and they're really grateful. They've been messaging, and so they're really on top. They love that the New York cabaret community is helping out with their campaigns. And by the way, as Sierra Rein just pointed out, in the back, before the show and after the show, we are selling for $10, and all the money is going to go to the campaigns, bath bombs for democracy. They are little, like, beautiful, flowery, colorful Epsom salts. And you put them in the tub, and if you're Sidney Meyer, you do it with candles. Right, Sid? Okay. So anyway, I want to get this started. One of the things that is just thrilling me about doing this series and hosting this series is that I was able to have many friends, many of whom are also clients, as I'm a promoter and a publicist, who agreed to do this because they're passionate about the issues. And by the way, we're in New York, and we're a very, very blue city. We don't have to worry that much about swing districts. Democrats pretty much run the table here. There are a couple of outliers. I'm going to be working for a guy named I'm going to be working for a guy named Max Rose, who's running in Staten Island and southern Brooklyn. That's a swing district. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Anything you can do, whether it's sending money, whether it's making phone calls, it doesn't have to be for New York candidates. We have got to flip the Congress. There is nothing more important in the world right now than that. So if you can go to Jersey or somewhere in Pennsylvania and help with the campaign, it's not that far from New York, anything you can do, please do it. We can do things being in New York. So I really urge you to do that. Anyway, let's listen to this great talent. What's great about doing this series is that I have these friends and some of my clients who agreed to do this. These are tremendous award-winning cabaret performers who are passionate about these issues. And so you're going to hear some great stuff tonight. And I want to start off with a woman who is really making big waves this year in cabaret. This is somebody who's done musical theater and has been singing in cabaret rooms for her career ever since she got to New York. I have been one of the people who, since I met her about 8 years ago, have been nagging her about when she was going to do a cabaret show, because she's so great and it seemed like a natural. She finally launched her cabaret debut show this year. It's called Running in Place. It's gotten great reviews. She's been doing it at the Laurie Beachman. She's got 2 more shows in September, on the 22nd at 2 o'clock, and on the 26th at 9:30. She's amazing. You're going to love her. And her name is Sierra Rein.
It's darker than the dark bottom
like, that was from actually a 1960s off-Broadway musical called Pins and Needles, but the lyrics kind of made me think of all the reactionaries out there that suddenly took over the world, and I'm like, okay, let's push that one back. Yes, my name is Sierra Rein, and I am representing Virginia candidate for U.S. Congress, Abigail Spanberger. Yeah. So if any of you have any friends or family from Virginia, let them know about it. And actually, she's endorsed by Emily's List, End Citizens United, NARAL, the Coalition to Stop Gun Violence, and the Virginia AFL-CIO, amongst many others. And I just actually read a tweet today that said she and her opponent it's a toss-up. So it's one of those things where the money that we raise tonight might help some more emphasis on her campaign. So I'm very excited about that. She is a kind of a unique Democrat in the sense that she comes from a background in the CIA. Yeah, but because of that, she has a unique perspective on certain aspects of politics, gun violence, and things like that. She also knows what it means to defend the Constitution at every turn, whether that means it's on the field or contacting voters and dealing with their concerns directly. I would like to think that when she took her oath of office, she found an American flag somewhere standing in the room and understood what its colors represent. Red for hardiness and valor, white for purity and innocence, and blue representing vigilance, perseverance, and justice for everyone under which it waves. You can gripe all you like, you can sneer, where are the heroes? You can shout about how everything's a lie. Then that flag goes by. You can snipe at the greed, at the need to be a winner, at the hype you keep hearing from on high. And you think, why try? And you want to cry. Then that flag goes by, and you think that's why, 'cause of that idea, that incredible idea. What you want to do is brag, I'm part of that. Yeah, I know it's just a flag, okay, but still, for a minute you can say, we will fix everything tomorrow. For a minute you're aware of feeling proud, and then suddenly you're staring at the crowd, and you're thinking there's no link. I can see they're as different from me as they possibly could be. Then you see the idea. And you know it's a dream, and you know it isn't perfect, and at times it may seem to go awry. Then that flag goes by, and no matter how you sigh, it's the bright blue sky. It's just mom and apple pie. It's this thing you can't deny. This idea that it's fixable tomorrow. We've a chance, there's a choice. We can change ourselves tomorrow. We're in charge. We've a voice, an idea about tomorrow.